did the science teacher take really long steps?
I don't know.
Because he was Mr. Strider.
Nah. Okay.
So, Mr. Strider, where did you grow up?
I grew up in St. Louis, so suburbs of St. Louis. It was pretty typical middle class upbringing. Nothing special, nothing terrible. So just kind of middle of the road. That's kind of me, I guess. I guess my childhood was, I would say it's probably, my high school experience was, I was always somewhere in the middle. So I wasn't like the popular kid, but I wasn't, the lowest of the rungs of the social ladder either. So I was always somewhere in between. Kind of relied on my sense of humor. So.
Like me, you were B-list popular.
That's right. Maybe I was more C probably.
Yeah.
But, whatever.
I grew up in Bolivar down the road,
Oh, okay.
and both of my parents are teachers. My dad's a retired college math teacher, and my mom is a retired high school math teacher. So I've been around teaching and education my whole life.
So you're a legacy.
I am. I didn't think I was going to be.
Well, I didn't either.
I ran from it for a long time, but sometimes these things find you.
Oh, yeah.
And describe yourself in high school.
So myself in high school, I wouldn't say I was an excellent student. I probably could have studied harder. I probably could have done a lot of things better. But I always had a knack for science. It was always my favorite subject. Even from a really young age, I could remember in like 5th grade doing like basic body systems and stuff like that. Thinking that's really fascinating. And ever since then, I've always kind of gravitated towards science. So, and I never really have lost that. But yeah, so me in high school, I'd say personality-wise, my core personality probably hasn't changed very much from when I was in high school. But obviously I've grown up, I'm a little more responsible, things like that.
I tried to do everything in high school. I was in a small school, about 500 students. So it was a time and a place where I could be in the band, and I could be in the choir, and I could be in the student government, and I could play basketball and tennis, and so I did. I did all of them, and I was hyper competitive, and I wanted to be the best at everything. And sometimes I was successful, and sometimes I wasn't, but I was always driven, and probably it made me difficult to deal with in some ways as a high school student.
I can't imagine. Back to my high school experience, it kind of contrasts with yours quite a bit because I was in a big school. I was in a school of 2,000, which is a fairly decent sized school. So I always felt like no matter what I did, I never really kind of stood out. I wasn't the best of the best or anything like that. So I wasn't super motivated until probably more towards my junior, senior year when I could actually get into the upper level sciences, and then I kind of shined in those. And that was kind of like, once I got a taste of that, then I was like, okay, I can be the best at that instead of trying to do all the sports and stuff. But yeah, so it's a little bit different. So we have kind of different backgrounds, but kind of ended up in the same place, so to speak.
Yeah.
So. I would say the person I am as a teacher, I can't quite be exactly who I am outside of school. There's some levels of professionalism you have to maintain. I would say I try to match my core personality as much as I can in the classroom while still maintaining that level of professionalism. I want to make connections and be there for students, but I also want them to earn it. I want them to work hard to get what they earn. But I think it's unfair to say we're exactly the same outside of school as we are in the class, and I don't know how you feel.
Yeah, I think that who you are in the classroom needs to be real.
Right.
You need to not be pretending to be someone else.